the Chase Thomas Podcast, for people who have nothing but time to kill.
Where I think he's just a really, really smart basketball player and knows like what the limits are to his fouling and what kind of defense he can play and what kind of press. But I mean, we talk about Takai and how important he was for this team, and he is a good on-ball defender, but there are limitations. Like there was a back-to-back series where Sakai blew. There was one, I think it was it an oop at one point where Sakai just doesn't see a backdoor cutter. I forgot who it was, but it was on Sakai, and I think Josiah was really mad, really animated at the moment. Do y'all remember what I'm talking about in the second half where Josiah got it? It was late in the second half, but anyway, like there are just limitations, and what Jahmai does, he's just longer. He's longer. He can defend more guys than Zakai can, and Zakai is great in a lot of different ways. But Santi not being 100%, Jordan Gainey being, I mean, he played a lot of minutes. Like Jordan Gainey really had himself a good weekend overall for Tennessee and gave Tennessee valuable minutes. But I mean, Jahmai, I just think he had to play more than what he ultimately played in this game because he was plus 12 in the game on Friday. And I think you just live and die with Mashack because 19 minutes was just not going to cut it, I don't think. And I understand the offensive stuff with Jahmai, but he was one of your best five. And I think the 2-foul rule at the end of the first half and keeping him out while Purdue was going on a run and just what he does, because like you don't think about him impacting Zach Edey, but he does. Like he gets his hands in there. And if Zach's not paying attention when he's posting up, I mean, Josiah and Jahmai were doing that all game long. They like when they were coming to help, they were looking to see if they could rip it from Zach Edey as he was posting. I mean, I don't know. I would have rode Jahmai Mashack 30 plus minutes in this game. And I just think he had to play more, even with his early foul trouble.
Yeah, I mean, I leave every game thinking Jahmai should play more. So I agree with that on its surface. I'm not sure quite 30 minutes. I feel like he had to play, but 25 plus. I mean, I leave every game feeling that they should have played Jahmai more.
I mean, he was their best player Friday night, maybe. You could just say, like, what he did. Like, I don't know if you win that game without Jahmai.
Yeah, you probably don't. I mean, Creighton's got 3 elite scorers, and he completely took one of them out of the game. So, yeah, no, I agree. And you're never going to find a better role player than what Jahmai Mashack does. And you said it in the chat, and you pointed to it here. Because to me, going back to the original question, yes, Ethan, where the game was lost, it was the last 5 minutes of the first half when you go on a 15-2 run and immediately give a 15-2 run up. And you kind of backed off the Iwaka stuff, but you point to the foul trouble and not playing those guys with 2 fouls. And I agree. I would not have been scared to play Jahmai with 2 fouls in the first half. I 100% think they should have benched Tobe because Tobe was going to have no problem picking up 3 fouls in the second half, as we saw. But still, look at that stretch. It was the offense that hurt Tennessee. I mean, the defense was great against a team that doesn't force turnovers. He turned the ball over 3 times in 2.5 minutes immediately out of that timeout, essentially. 2 of those turnovers immediately led to points for Purdue. Like, to me, that's what hurt Tennessee. You scored 2 points in the last 5 minutes of the half, and it came on a transition dunk when you got it still at midcourt. The defense wasn't great. Jahmai would have helped with that. Sure, would have, again, I trust Jahmai to play with 2 fouls in the first half, and I think he should have played more. So, yeah, I kind of agree with that, but I don't think that decision was what was the most impactful on things going wrong for Tennessee in those final 5 minutes of the first half. I think what they were not able to do on the offensive end, and especially the turnovers.
Nicely done, nephew. The Chase Thomas Podcast. Hell yeah.